people. This should be played in the second period. If it is not, or if it's jumbled up for some reason, please let your teacher know. Just now, in the previous video, you should have seen the video where I gave you homework on Life of Pi. It is in your workbook green chapter, right? That is what you should have done. In the last video, I should have told you to do 1 and 2 and 3 to use as a pencil to do it. Then we're going to discuss it together. Okay? So, discussion. We covered the words in Quizlet already. So, technically, the words you should know. Okay? So, 3A. Take a red pen, everybody. Right. So, let's quickly go through this together. Lights and winds. He saw everything from sitting at his seat. When he saw a lifeboat, you could see the ship's great black side, which means it's dark. You could see it moving around. And it started feeling cold. It was a storm, so you can see where the emotions are going up a little already. Deep structural groans, which means the ship is, making sound. You know how I'm done? I hold the thing and I went up, like you saw in the video just now. In the first video, when I was telling you, you can see in the Life of Pi, the clip. He's holding the rails, going down. He's going downstairs. Why is there water? Oh my gosh, my family. So he ran back up. No choice. It's full of water already. So Pi went back up. Now he can feel the emotion. Initially, he seems okay, just surprised at the weather. Now it turns what? Now it turns more and more intense. He stumbled. He felt. He went down there. Oh my gosh, my family is not there. You look at the water. Look at the way he described. Look at this italic words. Like a riotous crowd. Means everything is getting more and more intense. He ran back up. He cannot believe it. The ship was sinking. Then, where's everybody? Nobody is around. I thought I heard someone screaming. So you can see the pandemonium. He describes everything very fast and all together at the same time. So you can feel your emotions go up as well. And in the end, he hears shrieking, berserk. Outside also I can hear shrieking, berserk. Animals runs past. You can see if it's a storyline, we are currently here. Climax, and then he stops. Okay? Technically, a little bit like a story. So, vocabulary. You should have found the words from the phrases, the sentence here. Okay? First one, maybe Jen Kin. Can you just say out the answer? It was a powerful combination of all these senses of wind and water that even Hollywood couldn't have planned or coordinated it. Remember, we had a word that means orchestrated. He was safe in the boat, like talk about my phone, safely ensconced in his seat. Okay, use a red pen and mark it. If it's wrong, write down the corrections as well. Reese, you want to try the next one? He was frozen in his position, scared and in disbelief. Answer? Incredulous, right? Couldn't believe. See, in his seat, yeah? See, here. It was incredulous for him. Yeah. Frightened and incredulous. The wild animal was in a frenzied and violent anger. Berserk, we learned that earlier. Kenneth, try E. He walked hurriedly to the door. Remember we talked about just now, walking hurriedly. It's a visual verb. We can actually imagine how it looks like. Hot-footed. Okay, so mark this first. Orchestrated, ensconced, incredulous, berserk, and hot-footed. And before I move on, in your textbook, I want you to underline the sentence where you got it from. Okay, or bracket lah, don't need underline. Bracket where you got it from and label there 1A, 1B. So you know where the words came from. Okay, so that you know which are the synonyms: incredulous, disbelief, berserk, frenzied, hot-footed, walk hurriedly. Okay, I give you 3 seconds to do that. 5 seconds to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Number 2. Using your own words, explain what the writer means by the words underlined. So it was dark still, but there wasn't enough light to see by. Light on pandemonium it was. Remember the word for pandemonium? We did that in Quizlet just now. Everything wildly disorganized, right? Nature can put on a thrilling show. There's another word for thrilling that starts with E. The stage is vast, the lighting dramatic, the extras are innumerable. Remember the word innumerable cannot number, so too many to count. So the answers might look like this. Pandemonium. You must say a disorder or confusion. If you said panic, also can, but you cannot say feeling panicked or feeling disordered or feeling confused, because this is not a feeling. Pandemonium is a noun. State of panic. Disorder, confusion. Thrilling, you can say exciting, ecstatic. If you have another answer, don't mark correct or wrong, just bracket it and leave it there. I will mark it later when I'm back. Innumerable, I think you shouldn't have many answers, basically too many to count. Okay? No need to highlight or underline anything in the insert for this one. Done for first question, done for second question. Now comes the hard one. Question 3. Let's look at the textbook, okay? You look at your textbook, I'll look at my textbook. Right. Look at all the underlined phrases. Alright. So if you just look at here, if you're in class right you in class right now, can you just look at the underlined phrases? You see, is the ship's great black side raging, frothing, boiling, frightened, incredulous, ignorant, dangerous wild animals, terrified, out of control, berserk, dumbstruck and amazed. Okay, what kind of words are these? Are these all figurative language? Are they all like nouns? Are they all, what are they? Metaphors? We can definitely rule out metaphors, right? Because you notice great black sight, raging, frothing, boiling, frightened, incredulous. All of these are what we call multiple adjectives. They join a lot of adjectives and verbs together. They put them together, so they didn't just put one. Great black sight, raging, frothing, boiling, frightened and incredulous and ignorant. They didn't just say animals, they say dangerous wild animals. They didn't just say scary or crazy, they said terrified, out of control, berserk. They didn't just say shocked, they said dumbstruck, amazed. Why so extra? Having a list of them increases your feeling for it, because you say different ways of saying scared, different ways of saying the water is scary, different ways of saying crazy animals. So write down this one. A. Together. Remember, this is the O. Together. Or you can say overall also can. Together. The underlined phrases are phrases with multiple adjectives. Okay. The phrases evoke a sense of panic. Okay. You don't need to do I. You don't need to describe all. Just say in general. Just doing the O part of it. Okay. So in your workbook, maybe you can put that overall. This is where you're testing your overall. So if you had all these phrases that you described with dice and lies, when you combine them at the bottom, you usually put an O, right? Together, the phrases evoke a sense of panic, doom, or fear. Look at the words. Turmoil about the situation. Pi was observing on the ship, because he describes everything multiple times. Okay, I give you a moment for this. Then we'll move on. I hope you at least got some of it. Okay. Right, next one. Italicized phrases, which means the phrases that are a little bit sideways, you know. Okay, so if you can't find it, you look on the page. Can you find the first one? See, thrilling show, an earthquake of the senses. An earthquake of senses, like a riotous crowd. Monstrous metallic burp. Okay, all those kind of phrases. Okay, what do these phrases do? Look at the first one. Thrilling show. Is it actually a show? It's not actually a show. Nature putting on a thrilling show. I think you know what figurative language that is. If nature is like a person that can put on a show, that's called a personification, right? Look in paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No harm done. I got up. With the help of handrails, I went down the stairwell 4 steps at a time. I had gone down there. Okay. Like a riotous crowd. The water is like a riotous crowd. Simile. So far with personification, a simile. You see in the paragraph underneath, it was unbelievable as the moon catching fire. So you can say the ship was sinking, but it said it is as unbelievable as the moon catching fire. It's so unbelievable, it's like the moon is going to explode on fire. Simile. So all of these uses, simile, metaphor, personification, all these are called what? Figurative language. And they all show you what? Okay. They are all figurative language. Look at this one here. The italicized phrases are all figurative language or imagery. Again, you bracket that. Similes, metaphor, personification. They describe you see it's just ship sinking. The ship sinking. But they describe it as unbelievable as the moon catching fire, which means exaggerated. It makes it a very big scene, exaggerated. So they describe an incredible or very, very sensational, exaggerated scene. Now this is not complete. So what does this make the story seem like? What does this have? What effect does it have on the story? It intensifies the emotions and events being described, engaging the reader further in the events happening. It intensifies, actually sinking. Suddenly sinking sounds like so big. Actually it's ship sinking. Suddenly ship sinking becomes so big. Or see, it's just the thunder and rain, but here it says put on a thrilling show. So thunder and rain becomes like bigger thunder and rain, more exaggerated. So it intensifies our emotions watching it. It's a bit like a horror movie. If they don't intensify the music, nobody cares, right? It's only the scary show or a horror movie is only scary if we exaggerate the music, exaggerate the acting. Same for this one, exaggerating the descriptions. Okay, look at the third one. C, words in bold. The words in bold are all individual words, easy to see. Hot-footed, orchestrate, nailed, crafted, thundered, exploded. What word class are these? Verb, noun, adjective. I hope you have just said verb. I think you know it's verb. What verbs though? Look at the verbs. Not just hot foot like I mentioned just now in the first video. Nail suddenly becomes, you have a picture in your head. So all of these are verbs that describe a figurative meaning. So, or you want to call that descriptive verbs, okay, or figurative verbs. So these verbs that put a picture in your head that describe more one than just saying walk is a much more imaginative way of saying it. Not just run, they say hot-footed. Not just stand, they say nail, right? These figurative verbs describe very active movements, auditory and visual images of the scene. They help you imagine how it looks like. So that's why we call them imagery. It puts a picture in your head. Imagery verbs, okay? Descriptive verbs. Okay, I'll count to 5. Write this down. I hope you wrote A as well, actually. Write down B and C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Done. I think there's one more. There you go. Now, atmosphere or sphere. Now this one doesn't tell you what it chooses. This one I'm telling you the E. How is this E created? Okay, so this one, can you just write there in red? This one they're asking you to see. How do you know the E, the effect? E, oops. How do you know the E of fear is made? How do they have the effect of fear? So, I know they do by, remember just now I mentioned A, B and C, multiple adjective phrase that intensifies to evoke the sense of doom. The descriptive vocabulary also makes and the narrator being cut off from his family also make it sound scary by using the vocabulary that he uses. Together, these create a sense of fear. Right? Together, these create a sense of fear. Okay? That's it. pause here for you to write that down. Alright, if you need more time, just ask the relief teacher in class to pause the video for you. But so, if you are done with that, you should have A, B, C, D done, answers done, and this one done. Technically, when I see you on Thursday, I shouldn't see any blank answers. I shouldn't see only answers. I should see your corrections as well. Okay? Even if your answer you wrote here is pencil at the side, even if yours is sort of correct, I still want you to write the full one. Okay? Right, so today, Life of Pi. I think they should be done. And we will also continue on about our descriptive writing that we talked about the other day, because, like I said, today's Life of Pi is an example of how you can use the things you learn in descriptive writing, put them in story writing. You learn both because you can use them interchangeably in different times. Okay? Good job, everybody. I hope I wasn't wasting my time talking to the air. I hope you were actually listening to me and doing your work. I will plant a spy to see if you are doing your work. Okay? Thank you, class. Thank you, teacher present.